Yes.
Difficult to formulate, there's a lot of ideas, but what you're saying kind of reminds me of a book I was reading a little while ago by Jeremy Rifkin about the European dream, and the end of the American dream. It's a kind of shift towards this, let's say, kind of Europeanization of the American dream, less materialistic, more towards work-life balance, family issues, and things like that. I was just kind of putting into the context of what you're saying about being less materialistic generation. See the accepted role of America as driving economic growth, and Europe commonly looked at as too socialist, or not really with it, not liberal enough in its economic policies to really drive growth, not innovative enough. I'm sure you've given this some thought about what this might mean in terms of shift. I mean, if you look back, a lot of that drive, a lot of that progress or innovation has been driven by not so much stuff.
Yeah. I recommend Jeremy Rifkin's book, incidentally. I also recommend George Friedman's book, The Next 100 Years. Different kinds of conclusions, but still very good. The good news to some degree is that 1 in 4 Americans still identify themselves as entrepreneurial, potentially, or really, or an innovative. The United States will continue to be a major driving force economically. But entrepreneurism will become global entrepreneurism. It is becoming global entrepreneurism. In fact, when we ask Americans, interestingly, where will the next great ideas come from? Fewer Americans are saying from the United States. Still number 1. But they're saying India, China, or Asia. It's really interesting that, and you're seeing that particularly among young people, the more they become aware of growth and development worldwide, the more they see room for the rest of the planet. So, will America still be a world leader? Sure. Will it be the world leader? Probably. But will it be the dominant world leader that it purports to be? And the answer is no. And so I guess as Thomas Friedman would say, there's kind of a flattening, a leveling that's there, and by and large very, very healthy. I think that's like 1% of the answer, but it's a good question. Yes.
What do you think would be the impact on leadership and potentially innovation?
On leadership and innovation, in what context?
In the context of political systems.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, demographic changes that are huge. Let's just stop and look at the United States. We had an African-American elected president. Who did he defeat? He defeated the first 73-year-old to run for president. We're not going to ask about an African-American running for president ever again. We're also not going to ask about a 73-year-old running for president, not if we're going to live to be 100. That's going to be a young whippersnapper at 73 running. Who did they beat? Together they beat a woman who came in 3rd place, was an Hispanic, who are growing in leaps and bounds. So first and foremost, you're seeing huge demographic changes. Our leadership will no longer be white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. A lot of barriers were broken by this election. Secondly, one of the things that strikes me about young people, and let me just put as a footnote now, just so that some of you 20-somethings, if you're here, understand this, you're still a pain in the butt. And I want you to understand that. So that I will write the sequel to this book at a later date. So I don't want young people just getting too carried away with the optimism. But one of the things that strikes me is the problem-solving capacity, the consensus-building capacity, the avoidance of ideological imperatives defining this group. This is a group that leans liberal, but it's not always liberal. One of the interesting things, the issue of abortion. which is an issue that has polarized the United States. In fact, it's polarized much of the West for several decades. But young people are very practical. They tell us, I believe that there is a right to choose, but I want to know the situation. Let me analyze each situation, and then I'll tell you whether it's legitimate or not. And so I see in many ways the ideological parameters narrowing a bit. And younger people helping us move more into a period of problem solving. Why? Because many of the problems, here in the West in particular, have reached catastrophic proportions. God, when I just think of today, if you watch President Obama day by day by day, he's not bouncing from one crisis to the next. He's forced to bounce from one potential catastrophe to the next. And it's breathtaking, really, all that he has to contend with. But I see a period ushering in where those singular pat answers like tax cuts, unregulated markets, those sort. On one hand, socialism. On the other hand, having come and gone.